Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
John Morosi just went on MLB Network and said something that has Blue Jays fans absolutely spiraling right now, because according to him, Toronto will be competitive in the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes until the very end, but he doesn't expect them to land Tucker and keep Bo Bichette. And here's the kicker. We should expect clarity on Tucker's future within the next 48 to 72 hours. This is Blue Jays Nation News, where we break down every critical development affecting Toronto's roster. And today we're diving into what might be the most emotionally charged decision this franchise has faced in years. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications because the next few days could define the entire direction of this organization. Let's start with what Morosi actually said. He believes Toronto will push hard for Kyle Tucker right up until a decision gets made, but he's not convinced they'll be able to keep both Tucker and Bo if they land the Astros outfielder. That's a massive statement because it forces Blue Jays fans to confront a scenario nobody wants to think about, choosing between a homegrown star who wants to stay and an elite free agent who could take this roster to another level. And if Morosi's timeline is accurate, we're going to know which direction Toronto chooses in the next 2 to 3 days. Well, Kyle Tucker is one of the best all-around players in baseball right now. Over the past 3 seasons, he's slashed .284, .366, .508 with an average of 29 home runs per year. He plays excellent defense in the outfield. He's got postseason experience with Houston, and he's entering his prime at 28 years old. Landing Tucker would be a statement that Toronto is done being the team that almost competes and ready to become the team that dominates the American League East. That's the kind of impact addition that changes everything about how opponents view your lineup. But here's where this gets complicated emotionally. Bo Bichette isn't just another player. He's been with Toronto since 2019, and he's put up a career .294 batting average with a .328 on-base percentage. He's a 2-time All-Star, and more importantly, he's become the emotional heartbeat of this team. Bo has publicly said he wants to stay in Toronto and build something special alongside Vladimir Guerrero Jr. For a huge portion of the fan base, the idea of letting Bo walk or trading him feels like ripping out the soul of the franchise. He's homegrown, he's talented, and he wants to be here. And that combination doesn't come around often. So why is this even a conversation? Money and roster construction. The Blue Jays have massive financial commitments coming up. Vlad Jr. is eligible for free agency after 2025, and he's going to command a monster contract. If Toronto brings in Tucker, who's also heading toward free agency soon, they're looking at potentially 2 mega deals in the same offseason. Add Bo Bichette's extension into that mix, and suddenly the math becomes really difficult. Something has to give, and according to Morosi, that something might be Bo. Let's put this in historical context because Toronto has faced tough roster decisions before, but nothing quite like this. When they let Jose Bautista walk in 2017, it hurt, but Joey Bats was clearly on the decline. When they traded Josh Donaldson in 2018, fans understood it was time to rebuild, but letting Bo Bichette go in his prime, a homegrown star who wants to stay for a free agent rental in Kyle Tucker, that's a completely different level of franchise-altering decision. It's reminiscent of when the Red Sox traded Mookie Betts, a move that still haunts their fan base despite winning a World Series just 2 years earlier. Before we keep going, hit that like button if you'd rather keep Bo, or comment if you think Tucker is worth the risk of losing Bichette. Here's what the next 72 hours look like. If Morosi's timeline is accurate, we're about to see which teams emerge as the real frontrunners for Tucker. The Yankees have been linked. The Phillies have been mentioned. The Astros might even try to keep him. Toronto needs to make a compelling case, not just financially, but in terms of competitive window. Tucker wants to win now, and Toronto's 89-73 record in 2024 doesn't exactly scream contender. They finished 4th in the AL East, 17 games behind the Yankees. That's a tough sell when you're competing against organizations with recent championship pedigrees. And here's the nightmare scenario nobody wants to talk about. What if the Blue Jays strike out on Tucker and lose Bo anyway? Reports have already started linking Bichette to teams like the Atlanta Braves, who have both the payroll flexibility and the competitive roster to make a serious push. If Toronto loses both players, This offseason goes from disappointing to absolutely catastrophic. The fan base is already on edge, and that outcome would trigger a franchise crisis that could take years to recover from. There's also the credibility question around Morosi himself. Blue Jays fans have a complicated relationship with his reporting. Some remember the infamous private jet tracking incident and other rumors that never materialized. Social media reactions range from Morosi doesn't know anything to I reject everything he says entirely. But here's the thing, even if you don't trust the messenger, the underlying tension is very real. The front office has major decisions to make, and those decisions will define the next 5 years of Blue Jays baseball, whether fans like it or not. If Toronto somehow pulls off signing Tucker while keeping Bichette, it would be one of the most aggressive and successful offseasons in recent franchise history. It would signal that ownership is finally willing to spend at the level required to compete with the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays in this division. But if they choose Tucker over Bo and it doesn't work out, the second guessing will last for years and the fan base won't forget. That's the kind of pressure the front office is dealing with right now. Here's another angle worth considering. Bo just announced he's willing to play second base permanently, which should expand his market significantly. More teams need second basemen than shortstops, and Bo's bat plays at either position. So if Toronto lets him walk, there's a very real chance he signs somewhere else quickly and becomes a problem for the Blue Jays twice a year for the next decade. That's not just losing a good player. That's strengthening a competitor while weakening yourself. That's the kind of move that can haunt organizations for years. The trust factor with fans is also at stake here. Toronto's fan base has been patient through rebuilds, patient through near misses, and patient through disappointing finishes. But if management fumbles this offseason by losing both Tucker and Bo, or by choosing wrong and watching the player they let go thrive elsewhere, that patience runs out. Fans will start questioning whether this front office is capable of making the right calls in high-stakes situations. And once you lose fan trust, it's incredibly hard to get back. The next few days will tell us everything about the Blue Jays' priorities. Are they building around Bo and Vlad, the homegrown core that fans have invested emotionally in for years? Or are they chasing star power at any cost, willing to sacrifice sentimental favorites if it means landing elite talent? There's no right answer that makes everyone happy. Both paths carry massive risk. Both paths could work out or blow up spectacularly. So here's my question for Blue Jays Nation. Would you rather keep Bo Bichette and build around him, maintaining that emotional connection and homegrown identity? Or would you rather go all in on Kyle Tucker, even if it means saying goodbye to a player who wants to be here? There's no easy answer, but I want to hear where you stand. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video if you want more coverage as this situation develops. Subscribe so you catch every update in real time, and turn on those notifications because the next 72 hours could be absolutely wild, and we'll be here breaking it all down as it happens. Thanks for watching, and let's ride this out together.